it's Laura from Laura's Adventures in Bookland, and this is my March wrap-up / April TBR / hashtag Friday Reads. So you get an abundance of everything, and if you just want to see the hashtag Friday Reads, I will put a annotation somewhere in here so that you can just skip to it. You don't have to see all this jazz, but we'll just get right into it. It's probably going to be a little long. The first book I read, I was sort of in a reading slump this month, and I believe it started from the first book I read, which I read on my Kindle, so I'll have to put a picture in, but it was The Sin Eater's Confession by Elsa J. Bick. Now this book, I got about halfway through this book, I think exactly halfway through this book, which is finally when something happened, like something big happened, and I was just like, what the heck are you doing? In not so nice of words. I was like yelling at the book. Because the main character was making such stupid decisions. I was like, why are you doing that? I couldn't handle it. I was done with the book. I had to put the book down. So I was like getting mad. I was like, no, done with the book. Done. So yes, I did not finish that book. Did not review that book. Did not rate that book. That was it. So the next two books I read were short stories, and I had a feeling they would sort of get me out of my slump because they were nice and quick. But the first one I read was The Queen's Army by Marissa Meyer. This is a little novella that goes with the Cinder series, and it is 1.5. I gave this 4-star. It was good, real quick read. I would have liked to see a little bit more, and I'm not going to tell you what it's about because it'll sort of give away part of what's in Cinder. But yeah, it was a good read. It was fun, to see what the Queen's Army was. So yeah, there was that. That got a 4-star. The next book I read was The New World by Patrick Ness. This is the prequel to the Chaos Walking trilogy, and I definitely recommend reading the first one before you read this one, because I do think it would give stuff away. I liked this one a lot. It was interesting to see this story, which I don't want to give anything away again, but I gave this a 5-star. And then I read The Girl Who Fell Beneath Fairyland and Led the Revels There by Catherine M. Valente, and I absolutely love this cover, just like the first one. This is the second book in the Fairyland series. I do believe it's 4. Here is the first one. Loved this book. I don't know why there's still a bookmark in it. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. Definitely recommend picking these up if you haven't yet. I actually just saw the third book the other day, and I'm like super excited now. So yep, that was that one. The next book I read it in a day, like literally one day while I was at work, and that was Beautiful Disaster by Jamie McGuire. I can't believe I waited so long to read this. I've had this for review for quite a while. It was on my Kindle, and then I just decided to pick it up at Walmart because it had already been released. I can't believe I waited to read that. This was great. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. Even though the relationship was a little messed up, it was definitely an entertaining read. So there was that one. And then the last book I read in the month was If You Find Me by Emily Murdoch. This book, I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. It was a good read. Definitely, I put this in my review, and I agree with it. Somebody referred to it as the closest to literary fiction that YA has come, and I would definitely agree with that. There are some hard parts to read in this book. I saw some reviews that said people were like bawling. I must be cold-hearted because I wasn't even close to crying, but there were definitely some intense moments in this book. if you can handle that, I mean, there's like molestation and really some gross stuff. If you can handle that, then I definitely recommend picking this book up. But it was definitely a heavy read. But yeah, 4 out of 5 stars for that one. Now, the 2 books I am currently reading, which this is my hashtag Friday Reads part, I guess. One on my Kindle for review, and then one which I just bought and hasn't even been on my Showcase Sunday yet, so it'll be on there this week. But it is Walking Disaster by Jamie McGuire. It is the companion novel, I think, to Beautiful Disaster. This is from Travis's point of view. I hope I like this one just as much as I liked the first one. Honestly, Travis, as kind of crazy as he is my fictional crush, I think. He just sounds hot. But don't tell my husband that. Yeah, so I'm excited to read this one. I'm also reading Wasteland by Susan Kim and Lawrence Clavin. I think that's how you pronounce the name. I will insert a picture here. That is about a bunch of kids, I guess you could say. People just disappear, I believe, after they turn 19. I think they just disappear. And the world, it's post-apocalyptic. Lots of trash. There's a really gross world. There's mutants there that are kind of shunned as outcasts. I'm only on chapter 4. I'm about 17% of the way through it, but it's not bad so far. We'll see if I can get out of this reading slump. I think I would like it a lot more, so hopefully I get out of that this weekend. But that is the other book I'm reading this weekend. And then I have lots and lots of books on my TBR, which is stupid because I'm still in a reading slump. But obviously the 2 books I'm reading this weekend are on there. And then I have quite a few review books that come out this month. So the first one would be The Sweetest Dark by Shauna Abbey. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but I love this cover. Very pretty. And I believe the second book, which I also got approved for, comes out September. I'm not really sure. I'll have to look that up. But I know that one comes out, I think. I can't even remember what this book is about, but I know I like the cover. Then the next book on my TBR is Strangelets by Gagnon, and I will put a picture of that here. This book is about 3 kids that were supposed to die at the exact same moment in different parts of the world, and they wake up. Something happens, and they wake up in a hospital, and it's only them, and I think some other people maybe, and they have to figure out what happened, and where they are, and why everything's like it is, I guess, but it sounds interesting. The next book I have is Girls and Monsters by Michaud. And this is just a book of short stories, so hopefully I can just breeze through that book and get that out of the way. And then the next book I have, which I love this cover, is Sketchy by Olivia Sams. And I believe the second one is being released at the end of the year too. I can't really remember. I, again, don't really remember what this book is about, but I really like the cover. And then the last book on my TBR for the month, which I am also really excited to read, is Taken by Aaron Bowman. There are no men in this world. They all disappear when they turn 18. And I guess there's a wall that surrounds this city, and nobody ever makes it over the wall. And like the tagline says, once you're over the wall, there's no going back. So that one I am definitely excited to read. And then, of course, since I did horrible on last month's TBR, I still have these to read. I know, I'm like a sinner or something that I have not, especially these 2. I have not read these 2 yet. That's like crazy. I was so excited for those. But, yep, that's it for the month. Let me know in the comments what you're reading this month, what you read last month, if you read any of this stuff and what you thought of it, anything I should read sooner than later. But, yeah, hope you guys have a great weekend. Bye.